A group of seasoned cave explorers, equipped with years of experience navigating the uncharted depths of the Earth, set out on what they expected to be a routine expedition deep in the mountains. This wasn't their first time venturing into the unknown. Over the years, they had uncovered hidden underground rivers, ancient cave paintings, and forgotten tunnels, but nothing could have prepared them for what lay ahead. They were about to make a discovery so strange, so baffling, that it would leave not only them but also the scientific community in utter shock. The expedition started like any other, with the team carefully making their way through narrow passageways, scaling treacherous rock formations, and descending into the dark, untouched corners of the Earth. Hours into the journey, one of the explorers noticed something odd, a passageway that didn't appear on any of the maps they had. It was a tight squeeze, barely wide enough for a person to crawl through, but it seemed to open up into a larger chamber beyond. Curiosity got the best of them, and they decided to take the risk. As they wriggled through the gap, they emerged into a vast underground cavern, a space so enormous that their headlamps could barely illuminate the farthest edges. The sheer size of the chamber was awe-inspiring, but that wasn't what caught their attention. At the center of the cavern, partially buried beneath layers of rock and dust, was a massive object, far larger and stranger than anything they could have imagined. The object was smooth and metallic, gleaming faintly under the beams of their lights. It didn't resemble any natural formation or known human-made structure. It was easily the size of a small building, but its edges were sharp, and its surface appeared to be flawlessly constructed. The explorers were dumbfounded. How could something like this exist so far beneath the Earth, completely hidden from the world for what must have been centuries, if not millennia? As they cautiously approached the object, their initial awe was replaced by growing unease. There was something unnatural about it. One of the explorers reached out to touch the surface, expecting it to feel cold like metal, but to their surprise, it was warm, almost as if it was generating heat from within. They exchanged bewildered glances, realizing they were standing in front of something far beyond their understanding. If stories like this captivate your curiosity, make sure to subscribe for more mysteries just like this. Despite their shock, they knew they had to investigate further. This was a discovery of a lifetime, possibly of the century, and they couldn't leave without understanding what they had found. As they circled the object, they noticed a strange feature, a hatch, seamlessly integrated into the surface. It had no visible hinges or handles, but it was slightly ajar, almost inviting them to look inside. With some effort, they managed to pry the hatch open, revealing a narrow, dark corridor leading into the depths of the object. Their hearts raced as they stepped inside, flashlights barely cutting through the darkness. The air inside was cool, and the walls were lined with strange symbols, alien symbols that none of them could decipher. The walls, too, emitted a faint glow, as if the entire structure was still alive, still functioning after untold years of being buried. The further they went, the more surreal the experience became. The corridors twisted and turned in ways that didn't make sense. At times, it felt as though the object was shifting around them. As they ventured deeper, they realized they weren't just walking through a machine. They were inside something far more advanced, possibly even sentient. Gears and mechanisms, impossibly large and complex, were embedded into the walls, some of them still turning slowly, powered by an unknown energy source that pulsed rhythmically through the object. After what felt like hours of wandering through the maze-like structure, they reached the heart of the object, a massive chamber that seemed to be some sort of control room. At its center was a console, covered in glowing symbols, with lights blinking in an unsettling pattern. The air hummed with energy, and the explorers felt a growing sense of dread. But it was what they found in the corner of the room that sent a chill down their spines. There, standing in a row, were transparent pods, each containing a figure. The figures inside looked humanoid, but they were clearly not human. Their bodies were elongated, their limbs longer than any person's, and their faces were covered by strange helmet-like apparatuses. They seemed to be in some form of suspended animation, perfectly preserved, as though they were waiting for something, or someone, to wake them. The explorers were frozen in place. What were these beings? Were they the original builders of the object? And if so, what was their purpose here, buried deep underground? The implications were staggering. They had uncovered evidence of something completely beyond the realm of human history, something that defied all logic. Just as they began discussing how to get out and report the discovery, a low rumbling sound echoed through the chamber. The floor trembled beneath their feet, and the lights on the console began blinking faster, more erratically. It was as if the object was coming to life, responding to their presence. Panic set in as the ground shook harder, and the machinery embedded in the walls began to move faster. The entire structure seemed to be waking up from its long dormancy. The explorers sprinted for the exit, racing through the corridors as the object powered up around them. Rocks began to fall from the cavern's ceiling, and the walls of the cave started to crack. They barely made it out of the hatch before the ground erupted in a violent tremor, sealing the object inside the cave as the walls caved in. Once outside, they watched in disbelief as the entire cave collapsed, burying the massive object beneath tons of rubble. It was as if the earth itself was trying to hide the discovery, sealing it away forever. When they finally contacted the authorities, a team of experts was dispatched to the site. But when they returned, the object was gone. No trace of it remained, only the collapsed cavern, now an impenetrable mass of stone. The experts who investigated the site were left speechless. How could something so massive simply disappear without a trace? And more importantly, what had the explorers stumbled upon? Was it an ancient machine, an alien artifact, or something beyond human comprehension? The discovery, and the mystery surrounding it, has left the scientific community searching for answers that may never come. To this day, no one can explain what truly happened inside that cave. But one thing is certain. Whatever the explorers found that day has changed their lives forever, and the secrets buried beneath the earth remain, waiting to be uncovered once again.